All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Awaken to Happiness Now. It's an interesting morning. Um, Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all my family and friends celebrating in the U.S. And so today, I'm so excited. We have my good friend, Simmin Bawa, back with us. And we're going to be talking about healing the body by healing anger. And so some of what we're going to talk about today includes understanding anger, some of the physical manifestations of anger, emotional awareness, coping strategies to deal with anger, the impact on relationships that anger has, right? The mind body connection, what professional support is available. And of course, Simmin will be facilitating a mindfulness technique to effectively reduce anger. So, all that and more, of course, if you do not know Simmin, she's been on our show many, many times. We love having her. We always learn so much, and it's always the processes and how she facilitates is really powerful. So lots of high vibe energies. Simmin Bawa is the professor and head of Department of Philosophy at Hind College in Mumbai. She is the recipient of the Best Teachers Award for 3 consecutive years, an avid researcher and academic. Currently pursuing a PhD course in sexual ethics, Simmin knows more than 35 modalities of healing and fortune telling. She was born a clairvoyant, clairaudient, and claircognizant, and knew from an early age that she has to contribute spiritually. So she has been a practicing holistic healer from the age of 16, and Simmin's specializations are auto writing and channeling, reading and healing Akashic Records, tarot card reading, candle magic, crystals, graphology, past life regression, crystal ball gazing, numerology, cartomancy, Lenormand Card Reading, Magickal Oils, angel therapy and card reading, runes, tea leaf reading, etc. So many. And she practices and teaches these courses, and she has received light language as a gift from the masters for the good work being done through the automatic writing and channeling. And so, as some of you know, I have personally taken many of the courses with Simmin and many of her workshops as well. So I highly recommend her workshops and her courses that she teaches. And so I know today is going to be another one of those fabulous calls where we're going to learn a lot and experience a lot. So, of course, I know we're going to have lots of questions as well. So I'm looking forward to all of that. And if you are new to me, new to my show, and if you haven't followed me yet or subscribed on YouTube, please do so. It is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring forward to you these wonderful speakers who are sharing their teachings, their wisdom, their healings, their clearings, their activations, processes, etc., so that we can all thrive in our lives. Right. So please join me in welcoming Simmin back to the show. Simmin, welcome.
Thank you so much, Alara. I just love being in this space. And of course, it is all about spreading knowledge and healing and making this world a better place to live. And having said that, we all undergo one emotion which is common to all of us. It is not viewed as a very good emotion. Nevertheless, we are all recipients of it externally, and we all give out the same. And sometimes this is not something which is viewed as something very healthy. And this happens to be anger. Now, today's entire call is going to be focused around anger. And I believe this is the need of the hour. And I'm saying this is because, as Alara mentioned, that I'm a channeler. So in my channeling, I've been getting a lot of messages to work with anger because currently in the world, we're facing 2 wars. And both these wars are because somebody is angry. And they're angry and they're letting out their anger. And there are many people, innocent and some not so innocent, who happen to be recipients of this anger, which doesn't make the world a very good place to live in. There are many emotions that we have to manage for which there is no medication. For example, greed, jealousy, and then there is anger. So when you don't have a medical treatment for it in terms of oral tablets or pills, that is when we have to ask ourselves, is this something that is really, really a part of my existence and making my world around me and the entire globe a better place or worse off? And anger is understood. It is a very, very potent emotion. It's absolutely potent. And this is a universal emotion which is accompanied by expression. So anger basically means I'm unhappy about something. Something is not going my way, or there is displeasure within me, because of which not just I am suffering, but I'm making everybody else suffer as a result of the same. And usually we don't view people who are angry as being safe to us. Now, what I mean by safe is either you will become a recipient of their anger, or you might get affected by it. And sometimes anger can be something which is very mild and moderate, something which can amount to great rage in the human mind. And therefore, we have to learn to deal with anger in the most efficient possible manner. Now, my focus is not just going to be anger, but it is going to be the various health issues that we face as a result of anger. And anger has the power to create big ailments and, of course, the small ones as well. So, come on, let us embark on this beautiful journey where we first need to understand anger. So, first and foremost, anger is natural. Anger is seen in small babies when they're not given food or attention or love or anything else, when they're uncomfortable, to grown up adults as well. And secondly, we have all experienced being angry or making someone angry. We very often, from the metaphysical point of view, we also talk about the rage and anger of God. But we're not going to reach there. For today, we are going to stay on this earthly planet and look at the anger that we need to deal with. So it can amount to irritation, fury, and rage as well. Now, when does anger become a problem? It becomes a problem when it is aggressive, verbally, and also in terms of human actions. And there are very frequent outbursts of angers taking place. And we end up harming someone. Who is this someone? It's either someone external to me, or it could be harming me, myself as well. And I will even tell you in today's call about a lot of cancer patients with whom I have worked, and the root cause of it has been anger. But of course, there are many other elements which amount to or result from whose root happens to be anger. So there are many triggers to anger. It could be anything, something in my environment. First and foremost, it could be the personal issues which I have. For example, I'm not getting the kind of attention that I want from people. So there are relationship based conflicts. There are financial issues which I'm having. It could be work related issues in terms of my career. And it could be a whole lot of other personal circumstances which are not within my control. Either I'm angry with myself because I'm in the midst of it, or I'm angry with others who are not making my life very comfortable. It could also amount, one of the trigger could be perceived injustices. I mean, somewhere I feel I have been treated very unfair, very unjust. And that makes me very angry. So sometimes I might just end up cutting off myself from other people. Or it could be me expressing anger in the form of rage and breaking something, or just being verbally very abusive as well, because of these injustices that are taking place in my life. And I'm sure each one of us have had these episodes of injustices right from childhood up to our growing up days. So there could be external stressors and there could be internal stressors as well. These external stressors could be something like traffic, long queues in the supermarket, very noisy neighborhoods, or just experiencing a lot of technical difficulties with gadgets, with electronic devices, your Wi-Fi not working, you're not getting network on your phone. So it could be something very small. The expression could be something very big, because many a times, if the expression is big, then the trigger is only one. But there could be many other peripheral issues which are intimately connected to this. Your anger could also be a result of your past experiences. Well, something in my past makes me feel very angry. I look at one episode and it reminds me of something else that happened in my past. Or I'm watching television or I'm listening to a song and it just brings back a lot of unpleasant memories wherein I have been emotionally undergoing a lot of turmoil. And then it could also be traumas. Very often we define traumas as small t traumas and big T traumas. Small T traumas happen to be everyday small bits of traumas that we experience, but big T traumas could be while witnessing your mother getting or being a recipient of domestic violence, somebody insulting you, your father, or saying terribly nasty things, or it could even be sexual trauma. Now, traumas are something that need a lot of healing because there's a lot of anger attached. Even with trauma, there could be two types of angers connected to this trauma. Either I could have a trauma of anger, which has directly, some episode has directly happened to me. But there could be also something else where something has been told me. For example, my father narrated the incident where his boss put him through a traumatic situation. Or my mother narrates one episode where her mother in law has been very unkind to her and she has experienced trauma. So even though I wasn't directly involved, but I have absorbed all of this in within me, and now their anger has gotten passed down to me and has become my story and my anger. And therefore, trauma requires, be it small t trauma or big T trauma, they require a lot of attention. Another trigger could be interpersonal conflicts that we are having. So it could be with our family members, it could be with our close friends, it could be with our colleagues, it could be with some people in my neighborhood, it could be with my teachers, it could be with God as well. Because many a times we're angry with God as He has not given us what we have asked Him for. Or we feel that we deserve something better, but He has been unfair. Maybe He's given it to somebody else and it has not come my way. Even when it comes to family members, people have angers or interpersonal conflicts with regard to small issues and big issues as well. If today at this stage all of us present here on call or the ones who are going to watch this as a replay, if you think today of those little fights that we had or those little arguments we had with our classmates in school with regard to stationery, or not sharing our food with them, or not sharing our notebook with them. Today, you will think back and you'll say, my God, this was something so small. You had such a big fight. But today, that doesn't matter so much to you because at that point in time, it mattered a lot. So therefore, we have to change our perspective, the way we look at things, the way we deal with things. So our interpersonal conflicts with friends, family members, colleagues, and God could all amount to a lot of feelings of anger. There are challenges that we undergo as human beings because every day we have something which amounts to sufferings, and it could be, well, I have missed my train to go to work, or I have missed the bus to go to work, or I woke up late, or my alarm did not ring, and so on. So it could be something very small to something very big, including having a lot of breakup issues, romantic issues with our exes, and we're still carrying those burdens of anger within us. Now, because of these issues, there is another two small triggers which I think that they're very small, yet they could be very big. One such trigger happens to be health issues. Could be anything like chronic fatigue or having a back issue, any kind of a frustration wherein you want to do certain things, but your body doesn't support, and you're angry with yourself because you are unwell. Another could be your basic environmental issues. For example, too much of population around, too much of noise around, too much of overcrowding, especially to places where you want to go. Or the tickets are to a particular destination are too expensive because suddenly everybody wants to go there. It could also be that it is extremely hot or is extremely cold and you're feeling very angry as a result because there is a large amount of irritation. These happen to be typical stimuli which results or triggers that result in anger. Of course, there could be a whole lot of others, but basically they all fall under these 7 categories. Now, how do we respond to anger? First is it's important to express anger. Very important. Because the moment you suppress it within you, you are going to see that it will either start collecting itself and come out as one big outburst, or you might end up keeping it within you and therefore become mentally and physically unwell. Expressing anger is very important. And generally speaking, if I had to ask each one of you, how do you express anger? You will yell, you will shout, you will argue. Many a times you will be physically aggressive. For example, you might just push the person behind. You might actually end up giving a whack to the person. So when you express anger, always remember that anger is very temporary. But the expression of it is important is because it brings relief to everything that is pent up within. But also remember, anger can escalate conflicts to very, very great extent. And so many times it has got irreversible damages, especially with relationships which are very sensitive. Also, I want to bring this out and highlight this particular point that many a times when we are angry with others and it affects our bonds with others, we become even more angry with ourselves. So anger can actually create more anger within you, but it is bad to suppress anger because then you'll feel choked, you'll feel bottled up either here or here. And if you don't express it outwardly, it will start expressing itself within our body. So it is internalizing these negative emotions. It will result in stress, depression, and anxiety, but over a period of time. Suppressed anger is also one of the major causes of PAB. PAB stands for passive aggressive behavior. Might end up screaming and shouting at people who don't even deserve it. You might end up getting angry on something which is absolutely ordinary. Many people try to calm down themselves. They will use techniques like going for a walk or some breathing exercises or counting numbers, or they will start thinking about something else. So they will basically try to pent up their energy of anger, which is there within us. But that is very, very temporary. You need to look at anger and ask a whole lot of questions. Some people either use these calming down temporary activities or they will try to seek solutions to a lot of things. And one of the things is communication. There are various ways in which you can communicate anger without feeling. You could amount to asking yourself if there is a problem, how do I solve it? If I have to negotiate a deal, then in what way can I use certain types of strategies such that we all reach a place where I get what I want, if not completely, at least partially. But there are some who use a very unhealthy pattern, which is avoidance. They simply avoid the entire stress of getting angry and the frustrations that they have. What happens is over a period of time, they keep pushing it below the carpet. They're only hopeful that these unresolved conflicts will find some sort of a solution. That's not always the case. Identifying patterns is very important. Either you can give immediate reactions, for example, slam your door, or just bang something, etc. But again, you have to pause. When we are angry, we simply act out or we react. And we don't have to react. We just have to take a step back and ask ourselves, why am I behaving like this? See, remember, anger is an impulsive behavior. And that is why you will immediately start justifying yourself. You will start yelling. And very importantly, when we are angry, we rake up the past. We rake up issues which are dead and gone because we want to feel very powerful and strong and to win the argument. And therefore, your anger is more important than somebody else's anger because along with the anger, you have the issue of your ego. Says I, me, I win. That little inner child within you wants to prove that I am the boss. As I mentioned, that there are trigger points. It is important that you identify what these trigger points. See, none of us can escape these trigger points 100%. But you could ask yourself, if there's going to be a traffic jam, and I know that I cannot avoid it, this particular highway is the only way I will reach my destination, then what can I do as an alternative? Can I listen to some music? Well, again, if I'm going to listen to some angry music or sad music, it's going to add to my trip. So it's very important to be self-aware, to be mindful that first accept that you're angry. I've come across people yelling and screaming, and when I ask them, but why are you so angry? But I'm not angry. So don't be in this mode of denial and say, no, I'm not angry. The first step to help yourself is to say, indeed, I am. Along with anger, you have certain types of physical responses, Vishnu. Such that even if somebody is observing you from very far away, they know that this person is very angry. And what could that be? Your hands are moving, your facial expression is full of negativity, it's all contorted. Your eyes and the pupils of your eyes will dilate, and they will see you screaming and shouting, such that you are yelling. Ah, ah. So there is a lot going on your face as such. Secondly, in case if you're giving out a vibe, okay, and many of us over here may have experiences. In case if your parents have fought and you enter the house, you will hear your mother banging something and your father sitting in a very grumpy. And just the entire environment around makes you feel there is a possibility they have fought. Or the basic facial expression makes you feel that, okay, these are the people who have had a fight. Now, after physical responses that we talk about, there are cognitive patterns that, for example, well, there are people who will just keep on blaming another. They will keep on repeating the same saga. So there is a possibility we ourselves have repeated the saga of being angry towards someone, which has happened like about 18, 20 years ago or 10 years ago. Our mothers, in particular, keep on repeating all those types of sagas around us. Anger needs two E's. One is experience it, two is experience. It becomes negative when there is a catastrophic reaction to everything that is happening. The conflict around you escalates to levels which then become unmanageable. There is constrictive communication. And when we ask ourselves, what is the duration of anger? It could last from just a few minutes, years. And ask yourself today, right now, what is it that I'm angry with? Whom am I angry? So you can immediately, your mind starts, so I call it the popcorn mind. It will immediately start popping up people's faces or names. And towards the end of all of this, one of this is also to hold on to anger for a very long time. And that is when health issues show. Yes, anger has a duration, but it can last till the time you take your last breath on this earth. A lot of people say, well, I have learned to let go. I have to learn to forget. We are human beings. Memory is given to us as a boon and a gift, and it's not meant for us to forgive, but it is meant for us to reflect. So anger and this very, very powerful emotion can can take us to react in the fight or the flight, wherein in the body, as we are getting angry, there is a rush of chemicals taking place. It's the release of stress hormones. Your adrenaline levels go up and down. Your cortisol levels go up. And physically, every cell in your body feels. I wonder if anybody over here has seen people getting so angry that the entire body is shaking, that the entire face has turned red. And if I had to just put certain machines on their bodies, their BP levels, the blood pressure levels will be very high. The heart rate will be very high. The pulse rate will be very high. And in the brain, there is so much of activity, electrical charges and activities taking place in the neurons, synapse, and so on. And therefore, a lot is happening. You end up burning a lot of calories as well. I remember having a case where someone was not gaining weight. And I just kept on studying that case to find out the person had a lot of anger and had a lot of outbursts of anger. So all the calories were getting, but doesn't mean that you use this as one of the ways and means to shed off the extra pounds and the kilos that you have. Anyway, now the mind and the body, therefore, the point is very, very intimately connected. I'm angry, it's a mental state. But how am I reacting? It is in the form of the body as well. Always remember, we are products of a single cell, which is the zygote. And that is the one cell which multiplied to great extents such that we are complex beings. So anything happening in one part of the body shows an effect in all parts of the body. Therefore, the mind-body connection is here for us to highlight. There's a very intimate connection between the emotional state and the physical. And this takes place is because when we are angry, there are elevated blood pressure levels, there's a lot of muscle tension as well. And therefore, it can amount to a whole lot of cardiovascular diseases, digestive disorders, weakened immune system, stress, and depression as well. The first thing is when there is this sort of a tension and muscle tightness, so your jaws feel very tight, your shoulders become very tight, your hand movements are not soft, they're very choppy. I'm going to slap you, I'll do this. So it becomes very, 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 very choppy. There is clenching of the fist taking place, possibly is grinding of the teeth as well. If it stays with you in a prolonged manner, it will lead to some sort of soreness and discomfort in your body. And why is this happening? Because you're very angry right. Anger leads to headaches and sometimes intense migraines. That is again because there's constriction of the blood vessels. Headaches are because you're carrying too much of burden. There's so much of stress that you are dealing with. Remember, this particular head connected to the neck and the shoulders, all of this together stands for responsibility. So then there is a trigger, and the trigger happens to be these episodes of headaches. Headaches indicate that there is too much of confusion in your mind. You're trying to justify your position. Somebody else is trying to add something else to the story. Both the parties or how many other parties involved are trying to justify their actions. Therefore, there's a lot going on in the mind. You're very confused, you're unsure. And at one point in time, you actually begin to ask yourself, is the other person right or am I? So more confusion. So more headache and more migraines taking place. When I talk about stomach issues, very common. You will have digestive issues. And why is that? Because of course there's release of lot of stress hormones and your emotional state is such that you're not able to digest what is happening in your external. Lot of people, when they're very angry or post anger, they will experience intense stomach aches, indigestion issues, even IBS, irritable bowel syndromes. Some people experience nausea. As a kid, if I saw someone fight, I would immediately go and puke. So I was very sensitive to somebody else not being okay. So there is the sense of vomiting, nausea, and people post anger experience loss of appetite because somewhere appetite means that you are experiencing pleasures. Appetite comes from your solar plexus chakra because food makes you feel happy. It is an extension of pleasures in your life. Loss of appetite means one, I don't want anything more in my system. Two, I'm not going to enjoy the meal. And therefore, I don't want. Plus, the mind is so occupied with so much going on that the body says, I don't want anything. Please don't give me. So we have to learn to cope with things in a manner because if I choose not to eat anything, again I will have acid. Again I will have vomiting, nausea, and there will be many such issues that we experience. It could also amount to burning in your chest area. Now, when I talk about all of these, there is also, of course, I have already mentioned that increased heart rate as well as blood pressure. This amount, because there is again constriction of the blood vessels in your heart and around your heart, and the blood is moving from one place to another place because there is so much of calorie being burned, sugar being burnt, glucose, needed for all your additional energy going in, screaming and shouting and all those expressions with you. I have also seen, and I'm sure even you may have heard or seen, people getting heart attacks when they're very angry, when they're screaming and shouting, or they just go unconscious because the brain cannot handle it anymore. It's like pause. I cannot take this anymore. And why is it that people suffer from a heart attack? Because the heart is where your emotions are caged. So the heart says, I cannot handle this anymore. System shut down. And heart attack is also a way of your heart telling you, I'm very angry. It's not just that you are angry, but as I mentioned, every cell in your body is angry, and thereby every organ in your body is also very angry. You will feel breathless, dizziness, panic attacks, respiratory issues, asthma triggers like asthma, all of these. So I have seen small children, when they get angry, there is a trigger of asthma. And therefore, pediatricians tell these children no experiencing strong emotions, in particular anger. So these are all coming from the fact that there is unresolved anger building up within you, which is creating a lot of high end risk. Some time ago, I spoke about cancer. Now, we all have the cells of cancer within us, each and every one of us. When does cancer become a problem? When there are too many of these cells multiplying rapidly. And when we are angry, you're giving the ideal environment to these cancer cells multiply. I have worked with a lot of cancer patients, and I have found that the root of all the cancer that I have worked with has been anger. Anger towards people, circumstances, or towards themselves. It's very sad that they didn't know that they had to express the anger and yet do it in a very healthy way. But now they're recipients of anger and cancer. There are certain case studies which you will find on the web where these cancer patients started watching a lot of humorous movies like Charlie Chaplin or Tom and Jerry animation or so many of these kinds because there was so much of pent up anger within them that they had forgotten how to laugh. And once they started laughing, laughing by itself acted as a remedy to heal. Therefore, cancer and the cells, if you look at it, they're very angry. And the way they multiply, you know that they're very angry. Kidney stones. Why is anything getting hardened within you? Because you're very angry at that. So emotions become hardened and therefore they are there. And in particular, the emotion of anger. And there they are intoxicated. That's why? Because kidneys process toxin. And now there are stones, which means I'm so angry, I'm not going to process any more emotions. First, I have to deal with this stone, with this already existing anger. Only then will I be able to help me or anybody else in my life. Tumors, in a similar manner. Tumors are unexpressed, suppressed, repressed, depressed anger. Once you start healing anger, there's a lot within you that will start healing, including anxiety, including depression, including any form of unhealthiness or discomfort which you are feeling either in your mind or your body. Because when you're angry, the immune system also feels suppressed. And therefore, many a times, and of course, there is when your immune system gets suppressed, there is a constant release of cortisol, which makes your system grow weaker even more. And then you'll have frequent bouts of cold, cough, infections, flu, including urinary tract infections, autoimmune diseases, or chronic fatigue. And these are all syndromes that can very well be taken care of. Now, when I'm very angry and there has been a major episode around me, or somebody has been very angry at me, the first thing that happens is that the mind keeps thinking and thinking and thinking even after the episode is over. You take all those episodes and the anger to bed, and therefore there is disturbance of your sleep because the mind is very agitated and there is tension throughout your body. Operatively, you feel impaired as you're not functioning to the most optimal level. So then again, you have more health issues. Plus, you will suffer from mood disorders. I remember I was working with a group of women, I think about 17 or 18 of them. They were all in their phase of either perimenopause or they were experiencing menopause. And I realized when I was working with them, just working on basic anger, I realized that a lot of their symptoms were because in the past they just brushed everything below the tongue. And now everything is out in the open. The woman in them is now wondering what is going to be my role play. And therefore, the release of anger helps them as well. So, anger, when you're manifesting it in terms of your expression, even physically, there is so much that is going on within you. This requires emotional awareness. As I told you, first is you become aware of the fact, yes, I'm angry. Yes, there are others who are angry. Yes, this particular situation can be a little challenging to my emotions. But you have to learn techniques to heal it and heal it in a manner that it does not affect you in. See, I can recall episodes of of fights taking place or angry episodes, but I will feel rage within me if it is something new. If it is something which is old anger, it will still come back, but it may not emerge to have so much of emotional charge as it is doing to me when it is a fresh episode. But it is good to recall these episodes of anger without any emotional charge to it. So you have to learn to heal it such that even if the memory comes back, your emotional charge is neutral. Because when you recall these episodes, it makes you even more angry. Anger gives rise to more unhealthy outbursts. Therefore, coping mechanisms are very, very essential. Anger can hugely affect our relationships with family, friends, colleagues, and anybody else. See, if I am a very happy person, a very pleasant person, I will give out a very positive vibe. Everybody would want to come. But suppose there is a person who's very angry and always displaying his or her anger, you would want to stay away from such kind because you want to keep your addresses and your communication absolutely transparent and without any damage. You want to trust the person. You don't want to create an episode where there is resentment, which will lead to more conflict. So, be it family or friends, ideally, we should learn how to control our anger such that we are not creating a toxic environment around us because it can damage a whole lot of things professionally as well as personally. Sometimes angry episodes can crush someone's self esteem completely, such that the person will never be able to collect himself or herself and stand up for themselves, and it might just ruin them and destroy them completely. And that is why it is advised that children don't tell them that you are not good enough. Don't be so angry. Always remember when we are angry, we end up saying things which are not very healthy, which can be either blown out of proportion or it's his lies. It's just you wanting to prove to the other person, you are wrong and I am right. And that is why I said that ego comes in, which says, I want to fight and I want to win this battle. I don't want to calm down. I don't want to apologize. I want to hear the other person say, yes, you are right. And if I don't hear it from the other person, I want to hear it. And that inner voice within me will say that, yes, you are right. Everybody else is wrong. So we don't want to build it up to such a great extent. And therefore, anger overall needs to be dealt with in a very sensitive way, such that I'm not harming myself or another, yet I'm expressing anger to such a great extent that nobody is getting affected. Sometimes I just wonder, is God also so angry with us? Is God able to express his anger well with us? Or when people say that when there are earthquakes or hurricanes taking place, God is actually very angry with us. So I wonder, if it is such a natural emotion, wouldn't it be that God is also getting angry with us? But I doubt he would get angry with us in the form of these hurricanes and volcanoes. He might express his anger in some other ways. But as I said, for now, for today, we have to learn to express our own anger. And by the way, anger has a whole lot of varieties. There is depressed anger, there is suppressed anger, there is old anger, there is parental anger, there is ancestral anger, there is genetic anger as well. There is divine anger as well. And of course, there are many, many, many different varieties of anger. And on this particular show, I'm bringing a superb offer for all of you because I just want to see the entire world happy, peaceful, and healed. So, Alara, can we show them what we are going to give them? And then after that, I want to do a nice, powerful process with everybody.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. 1 second. Oh my goodness. All right, you should be able to see it. So Simmin's package. There we go. All right, go ahead. The healing the body by healing anger workshop.
So it is understanding anger and its impact. And we are going to be doing a deeper understanding as compared to what I have explained today. The various types of anger, how your body and the cells retain a whole lot of these emotions within it, and from time to time there are outbursts of these as well. We are going to be recognizing these kind of holistic healing ways in which we will learn to manage anger in a very healthy manner. We are going to directly do healings. We will be healing anger within our DNA. We will be learning how to deal with anger and heal ancestral anger, childhood anger, historic anger. And this is amazing. We all have a lot of historic anger within us. So in case if you end up taking up this package, we will learn about it. We'll also heal it. Everything is going to be healed. We will be healing our past life anger as well, cause of which we are here, and this is the life wherein there are sufferings and there are challenges all around me. Then there is healing of all remaining types of angers. There is going to be a very healthy expression of anger, a technique that I will teach you that you can use from time to time uh, at all points in time. Like even when you're cooking and something comes up, you will immediately be able to deal and manage with it. We will be looking at certain spiritual tools as well. We will learn how to integrate healing into our daily life such that the expression of anger takes place in a very healthy manner. And above everything else, we have to learn how to develop a resilience. Only then can we have a better world around us. Plus, I'm bringing in a whole lot of bonuses. There's 101 anger management channeled power statements document, which I'll give you. There's 101 remedies to bring more color into different aspects of your life's document. Third bonus is that I will be giving you access to the 1 hour inner child healing call. And this is going to be big work and a supplementary work towards you and dealing with anger in your life. And of course, in marriage. And this is being offered at a very special price, only and only for my friend Alara and my student Alara. And this is being offered as just $44. And you will not get this kind of an offer ever again from me or from anybody else, because we are going to be working with really big, and these are all tools, and these are very easy. I don't like to do fussy work. I want to do fuss free work and tools wherein in any part of the world I am, in any situation, there is something for me to deal with and therefore have complete control over myself. One of the greatest powers that the Creator has given us is the freedom of will. And we can choose to will, but in a manner such that it is not affecting anyone in a negative. And this is a package that is meant for each and every one of us, because this kind of a special offer will not come to you, because the original value of this package is $299. It's an 85% off at just $40.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And of course, if you're an Inner Circle member, please do use your gift code. There are some wonderful testimonials as well on the page from people who have already taken the workshop with Simmin. So definitely check those out as well. So it looks like a fascinating workshop, lots of healing involved. And as we all know, a lot of us anyways do have anger in our fields, and I know for myself it's a family trait for sure. uh, so definitely it's there, and that can affect us. And I just want to confirm that the workshop is on Sunday, July 21st from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. Is that right, Simon?
Yes.
Awesome.
And just
Good.
in case you can't make it live for the call, the access to the call recording will be given to everybody, whether they are present with me live or not.
Yeah, there will be a recording of the workshop for sure. Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And so I know you all can relate and resonate with those feelings of anger, frustration, irritability from time to time, or you may have seen it as a pattern in your life. You may have seen it as a pattern in your family as well, right? Um, Definitely suppressed. My mother definitely has anger in her body, and she had cancer like 10 years ago. But it's still there, and it doesn't show up as like big bursts of anger, but sometimes, but it's there. It's there at the family level. It's there at the, like my cousins, and like it's there definitely. So I know that I also have a challenge with, I wouldn't say anger per se, but frustration and irritability sometimes. So it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's gotten better, right? But we can all um use tools, to help us with that anger, right? And how to heal it, how to resolve it, how not to make it so explosive that it affects people around us, including ourselves. And there's a question in the chat. I'm sure you can see that, how to express anger in a healthy way, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about process or a facilitation that Simon's going to do to help us with that right now.
Yes. And I request everyone to please close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, each time exhaling through your mouth. Just mentally repeat the word relax. 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 Relax more. Relax some more. Relax a lot more. I want you to bring your attention to your breath. Simply notice the sensation of the air entering and leaving your nostrils. The awareness that you have a nose on your face and that there is warm air leaving your nostrils and cool air entering from your environment. Keep focusing on this process of inhalation and exhalation. Now feel the rise and fall of your chest with each breath. Feel the rise and fall of your abdomen with each breath. I want you to think of the times when you have been angry. Just one episode, just one. Now, pay attention to how it made you feel. What were the words used? What was the issue? The war of words and allegations. And immediately, notice your breath. Notice the air leaving your body and entering, and the speed at which it's taking place. Are you feeling calm, or is your breath just somehow managing itself? Feel the rise and fall of your chest or abdomen with each breath. Has it got aggressive? Do not consciously change your breath. Simply observe it mindfully. Now kindly shift your focus to your body. Starting from the top of your head, slowly scan down to your toes, noticing any areas of tension or discomfort in any parts of your body. As you become aware of these areas, try to relax them. And if you notice tightness in your shoulders, jaw, or stomach, consciously release that tension with each exhale. Don't judge yourself, simply observe. Bring your attention to the emotion you're feeling. Kindly acknowledge the presence of anger, and once again, without any judgment. It's okay to feel angry. What matters is how you choose to respond to it. Label the emotion in your mind by simply stating, this is anger. Take a moment to explore the anger. Notice, where is it located in your body? Either in one area or many. Simply observe these sensations without trying to change them. Just be totally aware. And that by itself is healing or at the micro level. As you continue to observe the physical sensations of anger, imagine breathing into those areas. With each inhale, send your breath to the place where you feel the anger most intense. When you inhale, set the intention that your breath should reach the place where the feelings of anger are most intense. And with each exhale, imagine releasing some of that tension and letting go. Exhale and it's going. Exhale and it's leaving. Visualize the anger dissipating with each breath. Now, gently shift your focus to a place of calm and relaxation. And I want you to think of a memory coming from a very peaceful space and place. A loved one's face or a calming color. And allow this image or thought to fill your mind and your body such that this thought is creating a sense of tranquility within. It could also give rise to peace, joy, happiness, but above all, it should just give you a sense of peace and tranquility. It could even be memory of you achieving something, a success well deserved, or your first kiss. And once again, think of all the details of this episode, every bit of it. Once you have managed that, spread this throughout your body and pay attention to the process of inhalation and exhalation. How does your breath feel? How does your mind feel? And how does your body feel? Notice any changes in your body and mind. And once this is spread throughout your body, and there is a sense of tranquility within you, I request you to return to the present moment. Gradually bring your attention back to the present moment. Notice any changes in your body and mind. Recognize that you have taken concrete steps. Manage your anger in a healthy way. And all that you did was that you changed your thoughts. And thoughts are the easiest to change. I request you to take 3 deep breaths, each time exhale through your mouth. Very slowly and gradually open your eyes after that. And just take a moment to reflect on whatever happened in these few moments. Notice how you feel compared to when you started. Remember that mindfulness is a practice, and the more you engage in it, the more effective it becomes in helping you manage your anger. But mindfulness only helps you in managing your anger. Whereas if you take up the package, we learn how to heal it. And of course, managing is the first step towards healing, by the way. And please let me know,
Beautiful.
how is everyone feeling?
Good. Thank you. That was just the act of just being still, being silent, being present, doing the breathing. That in itself started to help calm everything down. And then just, I had so many awarenesses that came through during that process about how my body reacts when I get angry, and my my breathing just stops. Like I don't even like have no awareness of my breathing at all. And yeah, it's crazy. And for me, if I get really angry, which I haven't in a while, thank God, but it usually takes a while for me to, I get really exhausted, tired, right? So it takes me a while to come back to equilibrium. But that process was wonderful for just, like you said, managing and being aware. So thank you. How's everybody else doing? What came up for you when you were doing this process? And of course, sometimes after the fact, like after you do such a process, it's like can't think of anything, right? But which is okay. um, Anxiety was the underlying emotion under my anger. Beautiful. I feel better. Yeah, I think normally it's either anxiety or fear, right? I feel much better. Good. And the thing is, when you start to do these types of processes, it goes deep within your cells and starts to change your physiology. Um, I felt grief too. Yeah, thank you. Feeling much more peaceful. Awesome. Good, 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 good. So this is one way of managing anger in the moment or even after the fact, because when you go back and think about something. um, and bring it to your awareness. It can help with that. But then, of course, in the workshop, there's going to be more work on specifically healing anger. And I know for myself, I definitely could do with some healing of that anger, and healing not at just like for myself personally, but at the family level, the genetic level, the ancestral level. Thank you for a beautiful process. Good. And I hope you'll use it, right? I hope you'll, take a few minutes and actually go through the process again. Of course, it's in the recording, so you can always watch or listen to it and do it again for yourself and just see what starts to shift for you, right? See what other awarenesses you get. And again, there's no judgment, ever. It's more about just getting the awareness. My throat, I swear. Awesome, thank you. So, Simmin, any other last words of wisdom for us? Of course, the workshop is coming up on July, what is it, July 21st, right? So in a couple of weeks, and it's I think it's a Sunday.
Yes.
right? Cece says, so glad I caught your show today. Anger is a family trait, and I am a cancer survivor, so I know the strength anger has. Oh, looking forward to learning more from you. Good.
Yes.
I'm glad you enjoyed it or got value from it today.
And I just hope that everyone takes up this package which I'm offering just to make the world a better place. Because remember, where there is anger, there's always pain underneath. And if we release this pain, we can live a happier and a healthier life in mind, body, and spirit. It is your choice what you want to pick for yourself. Anger
Absolutely.
or just being in a state of tranquility at all points in time.
Thank you. And the more that we can be at peace, the more healing takes place within us and the more ease we have and the more we can enjoy life, right? So absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Simmin. So I will get the recording out to you all in a little while. Again, for those of you in the US, enjoy your Independence Day. If you're celebrating all weekend, please be safe. Tomorrow we are back with another show at 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a new guest, Rayanya Cheyenne. I hope I'm saying her name right, but so she'll be on tomorrow afternoon. So I look forward to seeing you all then. So today, again, enjoy. Until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings always. Thank you so much, Simmin. Great to see you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye for now. Have a great day, afternoon, evening.